Tom's going to be starting off by working a round shape vertically through that top zone. This will help him establish the length that's going to be moving forward down in towards the fringe zone. This will also establish the rest of the haircut's length working into the back and also the sides, as most of this haircut is going to be very fluid and connected. Tom started at the back where he has a representation of the length that he wants to have through that back crown area going into the back of the head as a connection point. He's then going to work that round shape moving forward onto the front hairline. Once you get through the second side, pull all of the hair down forward and again check that length visually. Make sure the hair is sitting exactly where you want it to on the forehead and move it around a little bit and manipulate the hair until you're happy before moving on to the crown area. In terms of the crown area, Tom's going to be taking a center profile guide right down the center of that crown area, 1 finger's depth, and he's going to be using that top zone as a connection point in terms of the length. This will allow him to have a complete reference and cutting confidence working through in towards the back zone area. The shape that he's cutting through that vertical panel is going to be a round shape again. You can see that the way the roots are coming out of the head, it's coming perpendicular out of the head shape, meaning that he's not creating any corners of weight through the crown in towards the top, and we have a very fluid shape from the crown into that top zone. He's going to be using that round shape as a guide and moving in towards the side panels, working vertical sections from the top of the head all the way down towards the bottom of the head. So on the vertical axis, Tom's working a round shape, as we can see, and on the horizontal axis, as he works each and every section in front of that, he's going to be over directing back towards the previous. This is going to create that concave shape, which is a triangular in its shape and form, meaning that it's longer towards the front of the hairline and it's at its shortest point over the top of the ear. He's going to be working on natural hair for now and completely flattening it against the head shape, working with a flat brush. This will allow him to get a really smooth flat result to the head and push the hair in the direction where he wants it to sit. Generally speaking, all of the hair through that front section and top section is going to be worn forward, which then he can personalize and soften out through the perimeter, which is where the fun part comes in of personalization. Now that the hair is dried, Tom's going to start focusing on that fringe area where he's going to be point cutting in towards the perimeter and taking away some of the density and length all at once. You can see he's working with the wide teeth of the comb to elevate the hair to again create a softer outline that he wants to see running through the front. He wants to create a length where it's really going to frame the face, add lots of impact, and create more of a focal point of the haircut. In terms of the slicing, Tom's going to be using his hands to pick up the strand of hair that he wants to texturize and then slice, working with the scissor opening and closing but not fully from the mid-length of the hair all the way down towards the ends. The more aggressive you want to be and the more weight you want to reduce, the bigger the section that you'll use to slice. Now the perimeter through the front has been personalized, Tom's moving on to the internal shapes. First and foremost, starting off through the top zone where he worked that round shape horizontally and vertically. He's going to be standing from behind the line, and similarly to how he cut it the first time, he's going to be now texturizing with some deep point cutting techniques into the last third of the hair, just to increase a little bit more movement and texture. One of the last zones that Tom's now going to work on is through that back nape area where he's left that disconnected panel running through the two sides. He's now going to shorten the length off, running right in the middle through the center of that area. What he doesn't want to do is create anything that's too blunt or hard in terms of the cutting line, so he's going to be working with very deep point cutting with the comb being elevated away and then working with slicing on the surface, which will generally take away a lot of density, increase the texture and really break up the perimeter in a very aggressive way, which is exactly what he wants to create here. Once Tom's happy with the length in the middle of the nape, he's going to now move on to personalizing behind the ear area in towards the elongated length through the sides. You can see that he's working with some freehand slicing techniques on the dry hair, working very visually, placing the scissors just underneath the first layer and then closing and opening his scissor but not fully. This will help enhance the movement and texture and bring out a really cool type of texture working through the hair. As we can see, that front fringe area has really framed the face for the client, and it really highlights the features where we have those soft areas coming forward on the cheekbone, which is a really cool personal style. We see the elongated areas through the back area, which is disconnected, and then those shorter internal soft layers are really popping out and increasing the volume and texture throughout. Thank you for watching this hair cutting tutorial, guys, done by guest artist Tom Moore. We hope to see you on the next one.